I just got finished watching the movie Opus, and I thought it was fantastic. It's the movie of the year so far for me, even though the year is young. It's leaps and bounds ahead of anything else that I've seen quality wise, as far as my enjoyment, as far as how enthralled I was, and how interesting I found it, and how I don't know, just the general cinematic experience. I think it's the whole package. Um, and I wanted to do a video about it and share my thoughts just briefly. I don't want to go on at too much length right now because this is just my impressions of things as I just freshly left this experience. I just walked out of the theater more or less about half an hour ago. Um, and it's been my impression that this movie is getting a lot of bad press. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people are responding to this movie like, sort of, they're like intellectual lemmings. Sometimes, weak-minded people, let's just say, people who tend to think with the herd. Sometimes they all like something for what I would estimate to be stupid reasons. I guess I'm sounding a little bit elitist here, but so be it. And sometimes they all hate something for what I think are stupid reasons. And in this case, it seems that my impression is that when I've gotten on the internet and looked up Opus, what a lot of people are saying is the same thing. They're saying, oh, okay, here is another movie of this same kind. Here's another movie about a cult. Here's another movie about somebody drawn into this freaky cult situation by A24, where all these weird things happen and blah blah blah. And this is all played out. This type of movie. We've seen so many iterations on this theme that it's just gotten tiresome now. And I really don't think that's fair to this movie, because although there are some similarities to some of the other movies that could be named, I think the fact that this movie was produced by A24 is also, in my impression, contributing to the backlash, because A24 has sort of, in many people's minds, overstayed its welcome. It became the mark of quality horror movies over the last few years. And while it's had this kind of appeal for some, others have grown disenchanted, or said, oh, this whole A24 thing is just overplayed, and I'm tired of it, and this seems to be the movie that is getting scapegoated, and I think that's a shame, because it's, again, in my estimation, a really good movie. Now, there are some similarities to other movies, like this movie could be compared to Midsummer, in that it's about a ordinary person getting pulled into this weird, freaky, creepy cult situation, and getting swept up in it, caught up in it in some mode or manner. But I think there's enough differences between this movie Opus and Midsummer to not to the point where I think saying that this is just a carbon copy of Midsummer is really doing this movie a disservice. I don't think that's fair to say. Now, a more egregious comparison would be Blink Twice, the movie that was made last year. I don't know whether A24 did Blink Twice or not, but there are some similarities. And unfortunately, I would say for me personally, I thought, when I saw the preview, I thought to myself, here we go again, another blink twice, because we have the same same kind of seeming premise in both Blink Twice and in Opus. The heroine is a young black woman, and she's plucked out of obscurity by a charismatic celebrity and taken into his creepy, freaky world. But I don't think this is anything like Blink Twice. I think this is a far better movie than Blink Twice, which I pretty much despised. This is a movie that I think some people might get caught up in the casting of a young black woman as the lead, and think, oh, here we go again. This is another woke movie. And as far as I'm concerned, diversity in casting is not a problem as long as it doesn't become a distraction, and as long as the movie itself isn't some tiresome screed like I think Blink Twice was. Blink Twice ultimately became this feminist anti-male screed, in my estimation. And there's something really disturbing and disgusting about taking a situation like Epstein Island or Pedogate in general, which is this scandal of immense proportions, which is really about the powerful exploiting the powerless, and making this into just some men are pigs, men suck. I mean, men do terrible things to women. Making it just a misandrist kind of screed, which is what I think ultimately happens with Blink Twice. And I think that's one of the things that I found to be the most repugnant about it. I also didn't think it was very well done. Just in a speaking aesthetically, egregious agendas aside. But the movie Opus, while superficially similar in having a young black woman be the lead, and having her drawn into this cult of celebrity by a white superstar, in this case John Malkovich, who's a bit different, has a bit of a different flavor than whoever the hunky guy that was I can't remember who it was now, but it was some good-looking guy in his 30s. This is gross old John Malkovich, who's the celebrity in this movie, or who plays this aging rock star who's returned to the scene after being out of it for years and years. So very different dynamic, and the as far as what the movie is about, this is the themes that are touched on here are definitely universal themes that transcend, contemporary, temporal, political hot button issues and so forth. This is a movie about fame. It's about the allure of fame, the trappings of fame, and it's also about faith and what makes for faith, what creates faith, what makes someone into a believer, and ultimately what we have happen. And I think this is one of the more satisfying things about the movie, as I've said, is the way that the way that this movie ends, the final, the sort of double twist of the ending. I think people roll their eyes when they hear twists now. Also, like people say, "Oh, another movie with a twist." Like that was it's that was fun with The Sixth Sense, but there've been too many M. Night Shyamalan twists, and now a movie with a twist at the end. That's just boo, boo hiss. We don't like that. Again, just sheer reactiveness, and I think it's unfortunate that Opus seems to be bearing the brunt of a lot of this. But the twist at the end of this movie is very similar to the twist at the end of the movie Primal Fear. This was a movie that came out in the 90s, I think 97 or thereabouts, with Richard Gere as the star. And this was one of the first movies that ever featured Edward Norton. This was before he was really a name. And in that movie, Richard Gere is this hotshot lawyer, and Edward Norton is the man that he's defending, who's accused of murder. And his character just sort of seems like a dumb, borderline retarded, country bumpkin sort of guy. But what we find out in the amazing twist at the end of the movie, I'm not going to give away the particulars of it. We find out that he's been really much smarter all along, and he's been the true mastermind, and he's been using Richard Gere. And at the end of the movie, Richard Gere finds out that he's been played all along. There's a similar twist at the end of Opus. And in Opus, it's more. It hits a little harder because the main character, the heroine of the movie, is somebody who is generally likable and somebody we understand and relate to. She's like this point of normalcy in the midst of all of this insanity that we're shown over the course of the movie. But she's somebody who has a weakness, and her weakness is that she wants to be famous. And that's something that a lot of us share, that desire. She wants to be read by people and wants people to care about her thoughts and feelings about things. She reveals this in an early scene in a conversation with a friend. And in the end, she gets what she wants. But what she doesn't realize until it's too late is that I'll just say she's been used. How do I say this without being too specific? She's being used. They've taken this desire of hers, and they've used it for their benefit. And so, in the end, she's ultimately served the benefits, or has helped along advancing the agenda of this evil group without intending to do so. So she gets what she wants, but she realizes in so doing that she's been used, and it's in a way it's devastating. But in another way, it's invigorating because it's so unexpected. Because the way that this is a movie that has a lot of twists and turns. You're never exactly sure where it's going to go, and we see things vicariously. That word vicariously is used maybe a bit too often, but in this case, it's true. We relate to her, and we're experiencing this aging rock star and his weird, freaky cult through her. And so in the end, we share her. We share her outlook. We want her to be able to get out of this dangerous, highly uncomfortable situation. We want her to get out alive, and we want her to be able to expose what happened there. And all of that happens. All of that plays out. So she gets what she wants. We get what we want, and seeing her get what she wants. And yet, in the end, we find out that she has been played. And in a way, we've all been played, because we've experienced everything we've experienced in this movie through her. Okay, so that's where I think I'll end my discussion on Opus. I would say don't pay attention to the critics. I would say ignore the bad reviews. And unless you're somebody who is really sensitive about, freaky movies with disturbing stuff happening and whatnot, if you don't like to watch a movie about a murderous cult, then don't watch this movie. But if this type of movie intrigues you, I think you will not be disappointed by Opus. So I'm recommending it highly.